They say, Hasan, why don't you actually go out and help? And then I do that, okay? I raise money. They say, Hasan, why don't you give money out of your pocket? I do that. I give money out of my pocket when we're doing these massive fundraisers. They say, oh, if you were a real one, you'd go out and help. I do that as well. And then people turn around and go, oh, you're actually doing that for clout. And that's it. There is no, like, you can't win with these people because this is not a logical, like, this is just pure hatred, okay? Let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, yesterday we went to Skid Row with Water Drop LA. It's a local organization that gives water, which is much needed, and many other much needed supplies like tarps, like tent material specifically, to a lot of the unhoused people at Skid Row. Now, obviously, there's a massive population of homeless people in Los Angeles, and there's a massive population of homeless people in America. There's been an 18% increase in homelessness in the nation year over year. This past year, the number has gone up to more than 700,000. And in that same time frame, obviously, there's been a lot of anti-homeless sentiment that has also increased. There's always been a lot of anti-homeless sentiment. Americans, I think, despise the poor in general. But basically, you know, there's a lot of violence and there's a lot of dehumanization of homeless people. And in an effort to, one, do something good, okay, and urge others to also engage in community organizing in a similar fashion, and also, perhaps most importantly, showcase the humanity of the unhoused population, Lolo and I went in with an established local community organizing group called Water Drop LA that already have a pre-existing relationship with many of the unhoused population of Skid Row, some of which have wanted to volunteer to be on camera, as a matter of fact, and talk about their experiences. So all of it was already pre-cooked, right? We had already pre-planned this because the goal was very specific. There's plenty of charity that I engage in and mutual aid initiatives that I also engage in off camera. This, on the other hand, was specifically so that, one, people could understand that there's much satisfaction to be derived from doing things like this. It feels great. But also, hopefully, people would recognize the humanity. That's it. And I think we accomplished that goal perfectly. But as is the case with anything that I do online, I was joking about it. I was like, well, how will I get canceled over this anyway? And it turns out Reddit was already going crazy over it. Reddit was already fucking chirping about it because it's some of the shittiest people on the fucking planet. A chatter posted it on LSF. Hasan gets mad at chat after accusations of potentially exploiting the homeless on Skid Row for views. They, of course, clipped it in a very specific way. We're going there with some people that work every single day with these people. So it's not, don't film it maybe. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You're the woke of the day. Isn't it inherently exploitative to film? No, you the entire point is humanizing these people. That's the whole point. Can you just shut the fuck up? Please? Can all of you just collectively shut your stupid fucking woke mouths up? Is that okay? Can we just shut the fuck up collectively? Anyway, most of the comments were agreeing with me, so the hate post didn't actually go anywhere, but it is kind of crazy because, like, a lot of people, when they see me yelling at these people, don't realize that, like, they should fucking agree with me yelling at these people. These are the smarmy, annoying people that virtually everyone despises. This is the woke, too woke for their own good. That one friend who's too woke. Meta. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, like, so many people didn't even watch the stream, did not care about all of the things that I'm even mentioning here. The fact that we did not film anyone without prior consent. There are 0 clips of the actual IRL stream here. And the only other clip that mentions me is XQC making fun of me for yelling, shut the f up. That in and of itself should probably show you the attitude that this fucking stupid ass Reddit community has. Some of the hate posting was exceptionally gross, like trying to wait for just you and one of the houseless were alone to frame shit on you, like masking like you're a germaphobe. Yeah, it's very annoying. If I want to farm views, I just sit here, okay? I get more views just sitting around not doing shit in my own house. It's always, once again, damned if you do, damned if you don't, okay? They say, Hasan, why don't you actually go out and help? And then I do that, okay? I raise money. They say, Hasan, why don't you give money out of your pocket? I do that. I give money out of my pocket when we're doing these massive fundraisers. They say, oh, if you were a real one, you would go out and help. I do that as well. And then people turn around and go, oh, you're actually doing that for clout. And that's it. There is no, like, you can't win with these people because this is not a logical, like, this is just pure hatred, okay? It's not logical. It's not coming from a place of like, I think this person is a bad person because of a bunch of things that they've done, and that's the reason why I despise them. It's more so, I've only heard bad things about this person because he's like always clipped out of context. And therefore, I now have to justify the vibes I have by constantly trying to figure out ways in which I will try to find ways in which I will say like, no, this is a bad person, I promise you. So that's it. You know what I mean? Why don't you drive your $120,000 sports car to Skid Row? Like, see, this is what I mean. Like, this is a person who is trying to do that thing over and over again. I don't know, man. Probably because, one, it would be a bad look, but more importantly, it doesn't have enough space. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is, like, it's so bad faith. It's such a bad faith and weird thing to do. It's like, dude does not care about homeless people at all. Dude does not give a fuck about homeless people. He does not care about anything. He's just in here invested in a Twitch streamer. And that is unimaginably pathetic. That is a pathetic way to live. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? They want you to Mr. Beast on us so bad. Yeah. Anyway, so I saw people saying you were only giving Teddy Fresh merchandise despite Ethan. Yeah, people are insane. Okay. They're just, they're psychotic. I gave my own merchandise as well. I gave a shit ton of clothes that I have worn prior that have been sent to me. Some of which were never worn. Others I've worn many times over. It's not, it has nothing to do with like spiting someone. Why would that be spite? Like, I gave someone the jacket I was wearing. Like, what are you talking about? It's not. Viewing poor people as not people be better. Wait, what? Me? Are you talking to chat? Because like, what's the problem? That's something that I don't understand. What's the problem with like what's the problem with unhoused people wearing your merchandise? Like, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to let your clothes that you don't wear rot? Anyway, but like, ultimately, who cares? Oh man, less desirable people are wearing these clothes. What the fuck? Like, this is insane. That's an insane thing to think. Please don't think that. What? Viewing poor people as not people be better? Talking about Skid Row, dick? What? Okay. All right. Just take a week off, I think. It's insane how humanity's become. I even have some gripes with things you say on occasion. Nothing you did should be judged. Thank you for helping the homeless on a lighter note. Please stop using Venom as DPS. Okay, first of all, Venom is a great DPS character. Yeah, the goal was to do a reverse Tyler Oliveira, for the record. The goal was to do a reverse Tyler Oliveira, which is to not like exploit and actively continue to dehumanize homeless people, but to instead offer a platform of you know, community-oriented people, which is what this community is comprised of, that will then, you know, further be emboldened in their worldview that these are just normal people, you know, that have gotten a shitty rap, and that's it. And I think it was very successful on that front. And I will say, look, as someone who has donated collective totals of, at this point, millions of dollars, fundraised millions of dollars, donated hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, this, like, doing this sort of thing hands-on is infinitely more meaningful, because at the end of the day, I have all those clothes that are just like sitting in my closet. For me, people send that shit to me all the time, and I tell them not to, and yet they still do, right? And it's nothing. Like, it's meaningless for me, and even doing that even doing this relatively like relatively meaningless thing from my end, you end up meeting a lot of very cool, very interesting people, and you end up helping them directly. I don't know. I think it's it feels more, I don't have the right words for it. It just feels more personal. I really urge people to go and join their local organizing initiatives like that. Like, I think volunteering is very fulfilling and yeah, very empowering as well. Obviously, it's not the end all be all, but I wanted to make sure that people understood that. I even was talking to some people that were some people last night that were like, I can't believe how much people are like yelling at you. There's like people in our industry group chats that were like very upset with your Blake Lively coverage. And I looked at the thread and I saw that like you made a normal point that ultimately whatever Blake Lively's like vibes look like don't matter when her accusations are you know, far more severe than just like having fucked vibes. And it is crazy. It's just like, it doesn't matter. For a lot of people, they just want to not understand the full scope of things. And this person I was talking to was like, how do you deal with all this? Like, I want to fight your battles for you. And I literally told her the same thing that I tell you guys all the time. And it's a principle that I live by as well, which is fuck the noise. Okay? Fuck the noise. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a moral compass and as long as you do right by others, it doesn't matter what these people say. Okay? I can have a million fucking haters. My attitude is not going to change. My goals are not going to change. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. And if over the course of many years, maybe some people realize that they might have been wrong about the way that they initially approached me because they saw these fucking clips out of context, or they just engaged in the pylon, great, sure. I'll welcome you with open arms. And if you don't do that, it's still fine. Okay? I saw one comment that I thought was really funny though on that LSF post, and I want to read it. I wonder if it's still there. There was one comment that was really funny. Someone was like, where was it? There was a person that literally was like, yo, Hasan is the only person that people would like yell at. Hasan is the only person that would yell at, that would get yelled at for like, you know, saving people from a burning house. And then someone immediately proved the point by getting mad at this hypothetical that someone had suggested by being like, yeah, he would just like set up his camera. Like they literally got mad at a hypothetical that someone else suggested. Like at that point, it's like, dude, what are you doing with your life? You know, I love and hate reading comments. You learn so much in so little. Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't really matter because most people still are just like, it's literally turning human beings into simply pieces of entertainment and content while claiming it's about humanizing them. Hasan and hypocrisy, name a better duo. It's like, I've fucking fundraised and work with people that work with homeless people so many times. Like, this isn't the first time that I'm doing this. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. Like, there was a very specific purpose for why we went there directly. And that purpose is very obvious, right? Bro, didn't we raise over 100K? No, I don't think so. I don't know where that came from. I don't know what the exact number is, but like, that's a crazy thing. Like, that's just like the exact opposite of what happened. It's the exact opposite of what happened. Hasan, the only streamer who will get a hate threat helping out some homeless people. Well, yeah. And I think it's a combination of things. It's a combination of things. It's like people that just like hate socialism and see me as like the fucking inventor of socialism because they're stupid, right? I think like that's part of it. I think it's because people are just like very cynical. People are unimaginably cynical, especially online. I don't mean for this to sound like I'm talking down to you, but genuinely, what is the reason for addressing people like this publicly? I mean, people see this kind of stuff, and I want to make sure that if they're coming in here with you know, with a false understanding of what's going on, like why there's so much hate, because I see this all the time. People are like, why the fuck do people hate this guy? I don't understand. Anyway, what is this? I'm leaving.
Can you
this
just shut the fuck up,
Please, can all of you just collectively shut your stupid fucking woke mouths up? Is that okay? Can we just shut the fuck up collectively? Can you just shut the Yeah. It's so funny because like those people would despise, like people that normally shit on me or use me yelling at those people as a moment to be like, Hasan always yells at his own community. It's like, which one is it? Do I have a hug box?
Fuck up.
Do I have a hug box and an echo chamber? Or am I constantly fucking yelling at people who step out of line? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Hasan always wants a hug box. And then they're like, oh, Hasan is always crashing out at people that disagree with him. But it's also like the same people that you despise too. Dude could save a baby from a burning building and someone somewhere would find an insane interpretation of events that imply he's exploiting someone, being a bad socialist, or is doing terrorism. Dude could do it without running to get his camera first. Dude, I'll save the baby, but only if I can video myself while doing it, dude. I'm trying to humanize the burning baby, dude. What don't you understand, dude? You just did the thing. Oh my God. My man invented a hypothetical to clown on you guys for making up weird reasons to hate on, and you literally found a way to hate on it. That's fucking amazing. How are you like this? It's just like, it's mental illness, man. Like there's no other way to, like if you're getting mad at a hypothetical where I'm saving a baby from a burning building that I didn't even make up, someone else made that up to imply how unimaginably frustrating some of these people are. But like that's just mental illness. Like what the fuck? And by the way, the irony of that thread that went viral is that was before I even went out. That is before I even went to Skid Row. Okay? Like think about that. Not a single person in that fucking Reddit thread actually watched the content or understood what I was trying to do. Like they just didn't, they don't care. The reason why I'm talking about all of this, okay? The reason why I'm talking about all of this is because I need you to understand it's all just noise, and it's never coming from it's never coming from like a valid criticism. It's usually narcissistic and vindictive and cynical. And ultimately, it's meaningless. What matters infinitely more is the impact that you have in your community. What matters infinitely more is not like faceless, lifeless losers online yelling about whatever the fuck you're doing in the most smarmy, idiotic, cynical way possible. What matters more is actually going out and helping people, doing right by others. Okay? Hasan, can we stop with the parasocial online drama shit every single day? This is literal slop and white noise coming from 4 follower accounts on Twitter. Is absolutely meaningless, so I just don't understand why it gets addressed every time. I am using this as an opportunity to draw a larger point. That's it. All right. They were wrong. They were wrongfully precogging that you were going to do Tyler Oliveira style thing where you shove a camera in someone's face and film them while calming the drug addicts. They love that shit, but they pretend to be these woke, caring people to try to dunk on you with nothing to stand on. Exactly. All right. But yeah, I mean, it's not just an anarchist thing, mutual aid, but I will, I will give props. Like it's different. Mr. B said before that he gets the most hate when he does the philanthropy videos, and said that if he made some bullshit 100 people in a circle video that costs the same amount of money, he'd get infinitely less hate. Yeah. Look, I think here's what is going on here. Okay. Look, there are a lot of people online that make this kind of content their entire thing. Okay. And they do it in a way that I don't think is productive. I think always focusing on the systemic harm and always ensuring that you're humanizing every single person that you are encountering is the appropriate way to go about it. And that's precisely what I did yesterday. And I'm very proud of this community for fundraising in the process. Also, the other part of this that we didn't even talk about is that they were HasanAbi heads. Like this is one of you guys. He's probably in the chat right now. Well, he might be in Skid Row right now working, but that's the other thing. Like, that's why I do what I do. There's so many of you that go out and work on the street. You know what I mean? This is why I want to get more people to engage in this, because the reality of the matter is you are not going to be able to, we can't rely just exclusively on the government. It's just not happening. Okay. I'm not an anarchist by any means, as you guys know. I'm not an advocate for decentralized movements in general. I think that they oftentimes fall apart, and they have, I have theoretical disagreements with it. Okay. But having said that, all you have are your neighbors at the end of the day sometimes, okay? When there's no one else. The only people that you can rely on are going to be like-minded individuals, okay? Do as you do, not as you say. Wait, what? So boring, Jesus Christmas? No, do as I do and also as I say. What are you talking about? You read my last message. It speaks to what is this? When I was 13, we went on a mission trip to Florida and fed, clothed a bunch of homeless people and then sat around and ate and chatted with them. A small town kid who had never met a homeless person before. I had only seen them demonized in the news and media. I consider that moment the beginning of my anti-capitalist radicalization because I realized then and there that everything I had been told was a lie and these people are victims of a broken society. Yeah, that's exactly what this is about. Because every fucking person is like, their understanding of homeless people is like the person who is like literally at the worst, like in the most extreme position, okay? Most extreme version of that suffering that you see on the streets, experiencing like a mental health episode or something. And people are fearful. People are genuinely fearful of homeless people. And the media also portrays them as like zombies, basically. The anti-homeless hatred is an oddly America-specific process, very marginal in Western Europe. I think one of the craziest parts about this, I think one of the craziest things was like Hawk and Glenn were both over the age of 65, okay? Hawk was 70 years old. Like, what the fuck are we doing, okay? What the fuck are we doing as a society? If a 70-year-old is sleeping in a fucking tent, a 70-year-old has no expectation of being a productive laborer anyway. Like, there is no expectation that that person is supposed to be working anyway. Like, it's over. They are in the autumn of their lives, okay? They are supposed to be chilling at a home inside of permanent shelter. Like, this is what a normal society is supposed to do. Take care of people that have contributed in meaningful ways their whole lives, or even if they haven't contributed in meaningful ways, it doesn't matter. When you're 70 years old, like, the fact that there's a 70-year-old out there that is homeless is like having a child that is homeless. You know what I mean? It's insanely fucked up. Anyway, here's a fun part.
You gotta wear the whole tracksuit.
Yeah. Who? My cousin.
The NFT monkey.
We have a lot of my cousin Ralph.
Robin Banks, thank you for the 10 gifted.
A lot of like untested merch.
I know him. What?
I need everything.
We got some toys and I'll bring some.
He's chewing on all my
Yeah, I can tell. He's chewing everything.
Yeah, he's chewing everything.
We got some dog stuff.
I got raincoats and stuff here.
He's amazing.
Yeah. We asked people who lived in homeless encampments that were cleared out in city sweeps to write about what object was the hardest for them to lose. They took my baby pictures of my mom's obituaries, a 29-year-old in California wrote. That was in my duffel bag. They also took my leather motorcycle vest worth $300 and my whole tent setup. Yeah, big shout out to March as well. Big shout out to obviously Sade and everyone else working every single day in, day out to help these people. Big shout out to Lolo for setting it up, but also a huge shout out to March for, as always, being so careful and making sure that we are not filming anyone without prior consent. You know, he did a great job. What? You got some crazy delusional people, man. Hasan donating Teddy Fresh clothing designed by Ethan and Hila to homeless individuals with the intention of provoking a negative reaction by saying, but they're crazy. Try to make the recipients feel comfortable, criticizing the clothes he was giving them. What are you, dude? Why are you showing me this? This is just mental illness in display, dude. What the fuck? First of all, I don't even think they have any, like, that person that's saying that doesn't even know doesn't know the full story at all. Doesn't realize that, like, it was clothing that I had that I wasn't wearing that had, you know, it was clothing from numerous organizations, like merchandise from numerous organizations. That's number one. Number two, the idea that like Ethan and Hila are going to get mad is also ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, disagreements aside, you're just making that inference. You know what I mean? Why the fuck are you making that inference for them? You're making them look bad. If you're a fan, okay, if you're a fan of Ethan Klein and Hila, and you are in your mind duking out this battle, if you're saying that they're going to be upset and just operating under the assumption that they're going to be upset, you're just making them fucking look bad. And it wasn't just like Teddy Fresh either. There was merch from virtually every content creator in that pile. And I don't, there's my own merchandise as well in there. I don't understand, like, I don't understand why this would be a negative thing anyway. I don't mean to undermine the homeless in LA, but as someone who hadn't been in LA in the past 3 years, it wasn't nearly as bad as people make it out to be. Sure, it's bad and it's gotten worse, but nowhere near as bad as people make it seem. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty fucking bad, I think. Anyway, I like that my overarching goal here is to tell people to fuck all the noise. Why are you wearing masks? Homeless people are a very vulnerable population, and they obviously don't have access to immediate medical care. And considering that that's a major issue, the organization Waterdrop LA has the practice of using a mask. I don't like. I'm not gonna fucking debate them on this matter. Like, they are the most knowledgeable. Why the fuck would I ever debate them? I would say a lot of your videos, I stop masking because of societal notions and sensory issues, but I'm realizing that everyone who wears it doesn't like it either, but is needed.
Masking like a week ago, and let's talk about it. The first thing I want to say is that in 2021, when people took off their masks, it took me a little bit longer than most, I'd say, but I too took off my mask.
The homeless population is an especially vulnerable population. And, you know, I'm not going to fucking, 2 reasons. One, I'm not going to fucking go in there and just like, you know, spread my germs on the people that already have like a hard time getting medical help, much needed medical help. That's number one. Number two, it's their protocol. Fuck am I supposed to do? Debate them and be like, oh no, I'm gonna not wear a mask. Excuse me, I'm not putting a fucking chin diaper on. It's like, thank you for all you do, but I'm not fucking doing that. Like, what a ridiculous thing. You know? Why do you care? Look, this person, it's off topic, but I think you need to make a stronger effort to address your admitted misogynistic blind spots. No, I'm a misogynist. Please leave me alone. I hate women. Please. We saw the toxic gas coming out of your mouth in the car. It could be a war crime to expose homeless to that. Yeah. People are mad at the Twitch community donating to the mutual aid community, and because that wasn't the poverty class aiding the homeless class crashing out because the bootstraps didn't lift up the other. Yeah, I mean, but it's not even a fucking bootstrap, really. Like, it's not even a bootstrap in that situation. This is like a fucking band-aid on a hemorrhaging wound, okay? And people get mad. People don't even want to admit that the wound exists. People don't want to even see the band-aid. And people get mad when you actually even offer a band-aid. Like, it's the most fucked up situation, okay? Homeless people and convicts, like the way that Americans treat less fortunate people is just incredible. Did Lolo really understay his welcome? Is he gone? No, he'll be back in a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to cover that, and I wanted to talk about that. You farting in the car was hilarious. Irrelevant side note. I wasn't farting. I was burping, but probably was worse than farts, to be honest.
Getting worried.
Yeah, no, he's nervous. Oh,
All right,
yeah.
it's okay, baby. Don't worry.
That's a cute one though.
It's okay, baby. Don't worry.
I think it's interesting you talk about having good faith arguments, but you can't even have an honest conversation about your misogyny and alienating your female audience. Dude, how do you not understand what you're doing right now? You have to recognize what you're doing right now. Okay, this is the last comment that I'm going to address before I just keep continuously suspending people for like a day or like a week. Okay, if I were to address your misunderstanding of what I've said because you saw a clip out of context every single time people came in here, making it seem as though they have a very valid claim, okay, this stream would just be me repeating it over and over again. Okay, and I don't know if you recognize that you're doing that. I don't know if you are doing it deliberately. Maybe you're not doing it deliberately. It feels like you just joined just now to say this. You know what I mean? You've never like said anything in the community before. And like, it just reads as bait. It doesn't read as like a good faith critique. Like, I don't know why you just like desperately, it feels like you're desperately invested in someone recognizing you in a relatively larger community, you know? It doesn't feel like a valid critique. It's just a way to continue the drama in your mind. Coming in here, saying this, having me most likely respond in an angry fashion, so that you can clip out the angry response and then post it on Twitter and then be like, Hasan can never take good faith critiques. Have you noticed Hasan can never take good faith critiques? You know, like it's very strange. It's not even critique. Look at the start of the comment. It's a classic just curious slight. Exactly. It barely tracks as like it barely tracks as a good faith critique. Also, I think what you guys I think people that come in here who genuinely are confused about this stuff because they got primed. For people that get primed from this shit, I need you to understand that being overtly and openly misogynistic online is a benefit. Okay? Why would I get called a flaming homosexual from every one of those openly and overtly misogynistic red pill accounts instead of adopting hyper misogyny and running with it if I was a grifter who has these, you know, underlying tendencies? I would just be like, women are bitches and fucking celebrate the incoming subscriptions. You don't have to be aesthetically pleasing or particularly smart. You can be a gross piece of shit and just say those words, and other gross pieces of shit will shower you in admiration. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of stupid grift am I running here? Thank you, Themasius, for the playlist. Considering how intentionally misrepresented you are online, I think people who come here with bad impression could just benefit from listening for a while. Your politics and values become very clear in a short amount of time. Exactly. Stick around for a while and you'll figure out. You can make up your own mind. I believe, okay? I know that you have the capability of coming to your own conclusions. If you have any sort of opinions about, like, if you've ever seen something and it primed you into believing that I'm like a bad person or have bad takes or whatever, just kick back for a little bit, let it play in the background, and make up your own mind about what I truly believe. You know, that's it. Netflix executives want to have characters narrate their actions so audience can understand. Maybe the whole you can make up your own mind ship has sailed. Probably. Listen, it is much more important to closely police openly feminist creators with out-of-context clips instead of actually confronting power as the easy 10K likes. Yeah. What's even more disappointing about these sorts of comments is that they simultaneously perpetuate misogyny by suggesting that women only watch you because you're hot when trying to critique your supposedly misogynistic takes. Ultimately, it's an unproductive conversation. I know. Yeah. People who are routinely looking to eliminate misogyny wherever it exists are so quick to just be like, all of Hasan's fans, all of Hasan's female fans are thirsty. They're just thirsty. That's why they're watching him, because they're horny for him. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. As a feminist, I believe Hasan's female fan base are all dumb broads who are just horny and can't think with anything else. Okay. Yeah. They don't even talk about how horny the male fans are. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about the South Korea.